I always joke, you can rip out pretty much any other tool from me, but you cannot take out Sybill. That's like the one tool. I'm going to show you the ways that I actually use this on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. I do a ton of scheduled stuff. So for me, my day is super chaotic. I want things on a certain schedule, just sent either in Slack or email. I do a ton of saved prompts. So if you guys have not taken advantage of this before, this is going to be the best place ever for you. We actually do a ton of team prompts here, but you can see I have a bunch of things that are set up on various types of schedules. So I have one that every single Monday morning, it goes through every single open opportunity and it's 2 bullet points. It is literally just what is the single next step that we should take and what is the biggest risk to this deal. You can see here that it's giving me real simple information. Next step, biggest risk. And I go through this and just kind of like gut check some of the things. And then I also will use this in our sales meetings just to make sure people are actually doing what they're saying they're supposed to be doing. So this is kind of like my high level gut check on like every single open deal. And I ask it for 2 bullet points because as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here. And this is my 10,000-foot view. Similarly, I have a few other ones that I run. So I do every 60 days, I run a prompt around most common objections, most common competitive situations we're running into, and then any of the feature requests. So same thing, it's going to get sent to my inbox. So here is the common objections, competitive situations. I also ask it to tell me where we're winning and where we're losing. So some things that we might want to go and make sure we're investing in. This is long, as you can see, and like this is a lot of reading, and I'm lazy and I'm busy. So what did I do with this? I actually put this into Claude. I'm using Sybill's MCP server in Claude. So now Claude can go and talk to all of this data. And I'm a very visual person. So what did I have it do? I had it go and build me a very visual dashboard. And this updates every 60 days. So when I get that email in my inbox, this is going to update as well. You can see very visual for me to understand what does the competitive landscape look like? Why are we losing deals? So for me, this is like a flag like, okay, bad timing and no budget. Well, that's a qualification issue. That should happen super early. So I want to make sure that the deals that are falling into this bucket, we're killing really fast. And if we're not, that's something I have to address. Same thing, most requested features. This is really useful data that we send to our product team, right? We're making decisions constantly of where we invest time and money. I want to make sure this is all grounded in fact from actual sales calls. And then here, you can see some of the other objections we sometimes hear. And then it also is flagging which customers had those objections. And then it'll also give me a little breakdown of like by deal owner and kind of what the key blockers were on that. So this one's kind of like my more, how do I interface with the product and engineering teams and how do I look at some of the reasons why things are either not moving forward or where we're running into competition. Another one of my favorite prompts that I use is this one's going to be a beast. So this is my weekly comprehensive update on every single new deal that was created in the past 7 days, including source information on if they said something in the calls on where did they hear about us, any information they shared on the calls related to their pain points, why they're talking to us, any other competition they're looking at, any features that they're really requesting or things like that. So this one, as you can see in my inbox, so it's going to go through summary. So this is like high level what happened, each of the deals, the source, the like information, who's on the call, what were the main use cases. I'm actually using this a ton right now because we have a product that can do a lot of things and really honing in on where are we seeing the most common use cases and pattern matching on that is really great. Risks, tangible next steps to close the deal. So this actually we pull up in our deal review when we're going through some of the later stage. And just like I did with the other dashboard, here I build that for myself in a very visual style. So I can kind of visually see in these different buckets what needs attention, where we're seeing strong pipeline versus potentially weaker. And then it's got a cool little heat map of things around some of the risks. So where we're seeing certain competition, where there's potentially budget that we haven't identified, any timelines that are really lagging behind, and then a breakdown by every single deal. So that's some of the things that I'm creating here. One of the last ones that I'll kind of show that I think is probably my favorite, or at least our sales team's favorite. We automate this, but I wanted to create one in real time for you. So I had built a skill that is a business value case creator. So, kind of like what you saw Colin being able to do, but I want it in our branded template. I know exactly how I want it to be formulated. So, I gave it a finished doc that we had done by hand, saying, hey, here's exactly what we want you to do. And here's our logos, colors, fonts, all of that, and package it up into a skill. Now, we automate this when a deal hits a certain stage. So, for us, it's very mid funnel evaluating stage. We take all of the call data and we turn it into this business value case. So it's going to go and pull all of the data from Sybill. And then here, it's going to go and deliver this in Slack. So here, I now have a business value case that we will go and hand directly to the AE who passes it to the champion. So this makes us look way bigger than we are, way more professional. It's going to go through all the things we care about. And now this customer feels like we really have our stuff buttoned up. So being able to automate it on a certain schedule where deal hits this stage, this triggers this is kind of how we're running that. Couple other use cases just as a leader is I also have it prep me for my day. So this is less to do with moving deals along, but in a given day, I have customer calls back to back with sales calls, back to back with, like a QBR. I want to make sure that I'm prepped fully for that. So this is another thing that runs on a daily basis where you can see here's my prep. So I'll just show you like one example, but here I had a customer call this morning. It's going to go and give me the agenda, past interactions and data like that. And this is just really helpful for me when I'm going back to back and just constantly context switching. I don't have to go in and query. Sometimes I will. I'll query Sybill saying, show me the latest on this company or what were we supposed to talk about or things like that. But having this daily brief in my inbox is extremely valuable.